Yo, what up with y'all? How y'all doing? Good to hear. So this is day 3 of the 30 days, 30 NBA teams series I'm doing where I talk about the offseason for all 30 teams and where I project them to be. I will be a little bit behind, if I post this in early July and something happens in the end of July for the Rockets. Talk about the Rockets today. Spoilers. But I won't be able to put that in the video, So just keep it up, keep on with the news, I guess. The Rockets last year, obviously, were the 2 seed, right? They lost to the Warriors in round 1 of the playoffs. Series went 7. It was kind of upsetting, right? Disappointing because you can't be the 2 seed and lose in the first round. However, it is Curry, they had Butler, but still, 2 seed. The team was uber talented, but they didn't have their guy, right? What do you know? They get their guy. If you guys are paying any attention to the NBA, like even a sliver, you know that they just got Kevin Durant, right? The package was a lot, but it's not all they had. They didn't give up Jabari, they didn't give up Amen, they didn't give up Fran Fleet, any of the guys that they still have and were useful to the run they went on. They give up, it was Jalen Green, it was Dylan Brooks, it was pick 10, and then 5 second-round picks. Now because of that, they didn't have any picks in the draft, so there's nothing to talk about there because they didn't pick anyone. Which, it sucks, but, also you got Kevin Durant, so it's like, you pick your curse. What they also did was extend Jabari. They re-signed Van Fleet. So now you have still your starting point guard. You have Jabari, who is the starting 4, probably, unless they want to put Kevin Durant there, and he's the starting 3. Whatever they want to do. He's starting. Which pushes Tari Eason to the bench to play 4 or 3, because he's also a power forward. And obviously, all the questions about this team was who is the main guy, right? Who is the person they're going to look to at the end of the game to score the buckets, get to the line, make the passes, however it comes. And in the playoffs, the last couple games, that was Fred VanVleet. He dropped almost 30 twice in a row, I think, maybe 3 games, and he was running the offense. He was facilitating. He was getting everything done for them. But obviously, that wasn't enough. You can't have. He's a good point guard. I wouldn't call him great or anything, but he's above average. He only gets 5-6 assists a game, so it's not the most ideal situation. Like if they had Brunson, then again, if any team had Brunson, it's well, come on. But now in those close game situations at the end of the game, they know who to give it to. They got Kevin Durant. He just gets go up, go on the court, run a play for him, gets a bucket, goes to the line. He knows how to draw a foul. He's been in the league for 20 years. So once you clear up those questions, it's okay, so you have Alperen Sengun at the 5, you have Durant at the 4 or the 3, you have Jabari at the 4 or the 3, you have Amen at the 2, and Fred VanVleet at the 1. All of those guys will understand, or they should understand, KD is the guy, all right? KD is the one who's going to average 25 plus. He's going to take most of the shots, I would say. And you alleviate that pressure from everybody else of having to figure out in a whim, who's hot that game or who's going to take this last shot because we don't know. In the playoffs, they were just giving it to the hot hand. And that works, but not at the end of the game, right? Because if Malik Beasley, shade to Malik Beasley, if he's hitting 6 threes in the first 3 quarters, even then, you give Cade the ball in the 4th quarter. You don't give Malik Beasley over Cade, It's just, if Jaden Ivey was there, you give Jaden Ivey the ball over Malik. It's just how it goes. You need that guy to put the offense, in motion, to either draw the attention away from the other guys so they can get their buckets or go up and get a bucket. And Kevin Durant's 7 feet tall. He can shoot over anybody. Looking at their team defensively and offensively, last year they were rated 4th in defense, 13th in offense. And they lose Dylan Brooks, one of their better defenders, who's just there for mostly his energy. He's a tough defender, so he might get fouls, but their team is still going to be good defensively. You still have Amen. KD is still good at defense. He's 7 foot. He can block any shot. Jabari is a great defender. Fred VanVleet can hold his own, and Sengun is a pretty good defender. It's going to be probably still top 10 in defense. You look at that 13 number for the offensive side, that's going to go up. You don't have a 13th offense one year and add Kevin Durant and lose Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, who were just Dylan Brooks could hit 10 threes in a game. Obviously, he was not doing that consistently. And Jalen Green could go from having 34 to having 8 the next game. It's inconsistent. You add Kevin Durant to that, it's that is consistency. He's going to get you 25 a night, 20 a night, depending on who's hot that game. If it's at the playoffs, he's going to be, give me the ball, I'm going to shoot it. But I think that brings them from the 13th offense to at least a top 10 offense. So they should have a top 10 in both offensive and defensive ratings. And that's a recipe for a championship. If you look at all the championships that have happened in the past 10 years, most of them have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. Obviously, there's flukes where they're top 15 defense, top 10 offense, or vice versa. But most of the time, when you look at a champion, they have a top 10 in both. And Kevin Durant isn't just a guy who can bring your offensive rating up. He's one of the best. He's the best scorer of all time, right? And he's on your team now. You know who to give it to. Now, Ahmed can go out there and cook. Hopefully, he gets a jump shot. That's another question they have about him is if he gets that jump shot, all-star, guaranteed. He's defensively amazing. Offense around the rim, he's amazing. I mean, he hit a game winner against the Celtics. It wasn't a crazy game winner, but he hit it. Now, if we're looking at any more moves, if they wanted to, I don't deem it necessary, to make any more moves. They still have Cam Whitmore off the bench. Hold on, let me look at the roster. I mean, obviously you have Tari Eason, you have Cam Whitmore, you got Steven Adams, you got Rich Shepard, who's still developing, but he looks like a promising prospect. It's like they have such a well-built team to afford to trade a few of their pieces for Kevin Durant and a little bit of their future because they traded 5 second-round picks. It's a lot of picks. The only move I was looking at them making is maybe a backup point guard, but they have Aaron Holiday, who's, serviceable. I don't know how well he is in the passing game, but at the end of the day, it's like just as long as you can get a bucket, you're good enough. And to make it, they actually did make one more move. Let me backtrack. They signed Clint Capella to a 3-year deal. It was for $21 million. I also was wrong again. I keep remembering that I wrote this down. I have notes. Big note guy. But they signed Dorian Finney-Smith as well to $53 million deal. A lot of money. But DFS can come in and shoot the ball off the bench. King Capella can come and be probably the 4 off the bench. I would assume Dorian Finney-Smith comes at the 3, and then Steven Adams is back up 5. So you need shooting off the bench. You got Dorian Finney-Smith. You got Aaron Holiday, I guess. Cam Whitmore can shoot. Reed Shepard. It's like the bench is even... I was totally wrong about what I said 2 minutes ago. The bench is great. This team is great. I don't know if you can hear my dad talking in the background. Don't mind that. Just focus on me. But this team is super well built, and it has all the aspects you need to win a championship. Great defense, great offense, bench play, who can score 50 points, and outscore the other people's bench. They have the matchups, and now they even have mismatches with Kevin Durant being 7 foot tall. Jabari Smith, whatever way you put them, Jabari Smith is like 6'10". A 6'10" 3 or a 6'10" 4, 7'3", 7'4". It's like you're gonna get a mismatch basically either way you put it. The only teams, I think, in the West at least, it goes, the tiers are, the S tier is a Thunder. That's a tier of their own. They are an amazing team. Well built all around. Then it goes, I think, and then Houston is the next tier up. So they have the talent, they have the scorers, they have the defense, the offense, the coach is well adjusted to the playoffs now. All their players have had playoff experience, being in a 7-game series especially. That's not just a regular series. There's a lot of pressure in a game 7 to close it out, to move on to the next. You got to prepare for the next series if you make it there. That's a lot of experience you can get in just 1 year. And now, adding to that, you clear up all the questions of who was our guy, right? Because I think one of their biggest issues was they didn't have their guy. Like, they would just go into a game and be like, okay, well, who has the best matchup, I guess? Like, if Jalen Green's hidden, give Jalen Green the ball. If Alperen Sengun is cooking, give Alperen Sengun the ball. Fred VanVleet, if he's hidden, give him the ball. It's whoever has the shot that game, And that's just super unideal unless you have, like the Warriors, Clay, you got Steph, Draymond was even shooting back then. You got KD. It's like you could afford not having a guy in a way. Now this upcoming season, I project them to be top 4 seed at least. I would assume they go 2 seed again, and have a good matchup against the Wolves, the Warriors again, whoever else. I have to think about that, but there's not many teams that match up with them and they're like, oh yeah, this team has a better chance of winning than the Rockets. But yeah, overall, phenomenal offseason for the Rockets. They've been building this team for 2-3 years now. They've been drafting well over the years. Obviously, Amen was a great pick at pick 4, I think, 4 or 5. But this team is designed for a championship. It just sucks that in the same conference is the Thunder, and the Cross is going to be a great team too. We got the Magic, the Knicks, the Cavs. Atlanta is looking good now. Detroit could get there. But yeah, man. Overall, great offseason. I'm excited to watch this team. It's going to be a very fun team to watch. So if you want to start watching games or you do watch games, try to watch Houston Rockets games. It's going to be a fun team. Yeah, man. Overall, again, I'll say it again. Great offseason. But that's it for this video, at least. Obviously, tomorrow I think is somebody. It's definitely somebody tomorrow. I forget who the 2 seed is. Cavs? Boston. Tomorrow's the Celtics. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to post in 30 days straight. So if you miss one, next day I'm going to post a video. But yeah, hopefully this was informative a little bit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I'm doing better on the talking aspect of it. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Comment what you think of the Rockets. Comment what your favorite team is. And what you think they're going to do. Like, subscribe, all of that stuff. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.